Minneapolis mayor who hired Muslim cop just released a disgusting statement about her plans for Muslim migrants. Minneapolis is rapidly turning into a Sharia law wasteland with the help of Mayor Basti Hodges. This rabid liberal is determined to allow in as many Muslim refugees as she can despite how dangerous they are to America. Hodges appears to be dead set on helping Muslims achieve world domination by installing an anti-blasphemy hotline in Minneapolis. The hotline is for Muslim refugees to call in and report any American who harasses or speaks out against Islam. If that was not bad enough, Hodges has just released a statement in regards to Muslim migrants that is unbelievable. The country is still in shock over the shooting death of Minneapolis resident Justine Damon last Saturday. The events leading up to Damon's death has brought more questions than answers since the cold-blooded shooting, but there is one question that begs to be answered. Officer Mohammed Noor is a Somali Muslim migrant that has been on the police force for 2 years, and how he got there is no longer a mystery. Mayor Basti Hodges initiated a hiring policy in police departments that would prioritize the hiring of Somali Muslims. This is utter lunacy considering that more than 22 men have left the community in order to join the jihad in Syria, including ISIS. On top of that, last November 9 men were sentenced on terror charges after they were discovered trying to join a terror group in Syria. Then, last September a Somali migrant went on a stabbing rampage at the St. Cloud Mall that injured 10 people before an officer shot him. Hodges clearly has blood on her hands, and with her latest announcement that blood will only grow. Hodges said that effort will continue. The Somali officers on the force are seen as community role models, and are among the success stories of the immigrants in Minnesota. Community role models? That must be a joke. But it is obvious it is not after doing a bit more research. In an article with Star Tribune, Hodges emphasized how she is eager to bring on more Somali officers to patrol the streets of America. According to Star Tribune, "I've had more than one meeting with folks in the Somali community, and they are very eager to have more Somali police officers," Hodges said. "And what I say is, if we're going to have more, you have to apply. And you have to ask people to apply." Council member Abdi Warsame, the city's first Somali American council member, shares Hodges' concerns about the paucity of minority applications. "We need to look into why," he said. And like Hodges, Warsame said he thinks a racially diverse police force is important to improve relations between people of color and the department. "We don't want to see anything like Ferguson happen in Minneapolis or Minnesota." Warsame welcomes Hodges' push to get officers out of their cars more often. "The children and families in my ward have welcomed them," he said of his 6th ward, which centers on Cedar Riverside. "It's important to build rapport with the community." To have Somali Muslims being given a badge seems to be rather counterproductive to anyone with common sense. These people are not interested in upholding America's laws but desire to implement Sharia law instead. In a shocking campaign photo that was recently uncovered, Mayor Basti Hodges was caught posing with Somali Muslims. Do you notice the one-finger ISIS salute there? It is obvious that Hodges is an absolute threat to America and should never have been elected in the first place. It is important to note that since Hodges was elected, violent crimes have been on the rise, and there are reports of large sections of the community being overtaken by Somali Muslim migrants. KSDP-TV reported. A mob of up to 30 young Somali men paraded through one of Minneapolis' more upscale neighborhoods last week, yelling disparaging comments and threats against homeowners. Somalis living in Minneapolis are almost all Sunni Muslims, and residents of the Lake Calhoun area say this isn't the first time a group of Somali men has made an intimidating march through their neighborhood, which is filled with million-dollar homes. Police was called to the scene on June 28 about 9:30 a.m. and are investigating the incident as a potential case of terroristic threats. No arrests have been made, and the Minneapolis media appear to be largely uninterested in reporting on the mob threats. Of course, The mainstream media will do its best to cover this up, which is why this story needs to be shared. Hodges is giving these dangerous Somali Muslims migrants a gun and a badge to patrol our streets over well-qualified candidates. These people do not hold the same values as Americans do, and cannot be trusted, and neither should Mayor Hodges. The blood of Justine Damond and everyone else that has been harmed in Minneapolis is on Hodges' hands, and she should be prosecuted as a traitor to the Constitution. Hopefully, the citizens of Minneapolis will wake up and vote this treasonous snake out of office before more innocent lives are taken.